all, thank you all for coming here today on this cold morning. Like I said, a warm welcome to all of you to be here. I know some of you have traveled far to be here. And it's just a reflection of our support for Azam. Is this better? Okay. Is it? So I know most of you are here for two reasons, right? One, of course, we all know that, we are here because we love Azam, we support Azam, and that's the main reason for today's meeting. And for those of you academic credentials, I'm not going to get into that. I will get into that when I introduce Azam to come and speak. What you might not know is that in addition to being, of course, a lawyer by profession and being a leader in the Muslim community, Azam has been passionate about various causes. He's very passionate about interfaith. And as far as I have known Azam, it's been about 13, 14 years. I've seen Azam at the forefront for various issues that affect the entire community. Just a few weeks ago, Reverend Jesse Jackson was here in Naperville because of some racist incidents that happened in Naperville, unfortunately, and Azam was there. If you recall, about 5-6 years ago, there was this hate crime against congregation Etz Chaim in Lombard. Azam was at the forefront of that. And you might remember then a Sikh gentleman was a victim of violent hate crime in Westmont. Azam was there at the Jewel where it happened to speak with the media. The list goes on. I don't want to go through the entire list. I'll be here all morning. But the point is that in addition to having that legal background and academic credentials, Azam is somebody who, as far as I've known, really cares for the people. And, all of us taking the trouble to be here, I just want to reassure you that he is definitely the best candidate to be the circuit court judge for DuPage County. Now the second reason we're all here is that you've been bombarded with emails, WhatsApps, messages from Ashfaq Hussain Sahib. Right? We know that. In fact, I understand that somebody asked Ashfaq, "Are you the campaign manager for Azam?" And I'm sure the other candidates were looking to recruit Ashfaq. When Ashfaq told me about this event, I know it's been about 2 months, and asked me if I can be on the host of the committee of hosts. I think he was thinking about 10, 15 hosts. But then I think it was a WhatsApp group, and I kept seeing, he said, "I've added this person, I've added this person." And the count today stands at 46 hosts in that committee. Only Ashfaq can pull that off. Now, to welcome all of you on behalf of the host committee, I'd like to invite none other than Juwairiya Fatima, who is the daughter of Ashfaq. Like they say, catch them young and train them. And that's exactly what you're doing. Please welcome Juwairiya.
I'm a student at Equa Valley High School. Respected elected officials, candidates running for office, community leaders, and community members. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the host committee of Azam Nizamuddin for DuPage Circuit Court County.
Thank you, Juwairiya. As you can tell, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I have to list the 46 names. People say, well, it'll take a long time, but I'll do a real speed reading, if I may. Once again, thank you for the host. Syed Abadi, Zahir Ahmed, Dr. Saima Kia, Raja Chawla, Joseph Fortunato Jr., Ejaz Gill, Tabassum Halim, Shehzad Hussain, Muhammad Qaisiruddin, Asad Khan, Tariq Laliwala, Dr. Muzaffar Mirza, Maqsood Qadri, Dr. Dilara Saeed, Tariq Shad, Zahra Antar, Iqbal Beg, Dr. Elizabeth Boone, Bernadette Chopra, Michelle Gale, Shri Gurusami, Moin Haq, Amr Jalil, Shoaib Qadri, Dr. Ilyas Khan, Afzal Lokhandwala, Abdullah Mitchell, Dr. Azhar Khader, Dr. Yusuf Saeed, Ashfaq Syed, Dr. Aziz and Nafis Ahmed, Sheikh Anwar, Binoz Chanamolu, Kashif Fakhruddin, Saud Ghasanfar, Dr. Azim Halim, Dr. Tajmul Hussain, Saili Joshi, Ali Khan, Mir Khan, Abu Bakr Mia, Tasneem and Khalid Usmani, Arshad Qureshi, Iftikhar Sharif, Syed Hussaini. I need a cup of water. For the hosts, we couldn't have done this without the support of all the hosts. We are honored to have some elected officials in our midst, and I'd like to welcome the first official to speak. State Representative Karina Villa has been a great friend of our community, no stranger to Naperville, no stranger to the entire community here. I'd like to invite State Rep Karina Villa.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful crowd. And as I sat, when I walked in, I started thinking to myself, this is DuPage County. This is how beautiful DuPage County looks, right? When I remember people looked at me like I had three heads. They were like, you're running for a state representative in a Republican seat with basically almost no minority population. So people kept saying that to me, and I kept ignoring it. I kept knocking on doors, and that's why I'm dressed so casually, because I'm going to go knock on doors right after this, so I apologize. But, you know, I kept knocking on doors. I kept staying true to my mission, and my mission started at home, right? The mission started with my family, with my students. I was a school social worker. The mission started in my heart of knowing that our community needed better representation. So when I kept going, and the night of my election, even after the election, people would say, so where's your district? Charles, Batavia, Geneva, Naperville. People would still look at me like, what is happening? How did you win that seat? Well, I just worked hard. And the part of the question when people ask, how did you win that seat? What they're not asking is, what I understand is that they're wanting to know how this Mexican kid from West Chicago won that seat, right? That's what they want to know. And I will tell you that the way that we won is by working hard, talking to the voters, and making people just hear and understand our message, that we were there for the right reasons, which is why I know that Azam is going to win the seat, right? And he's going to bring so much leadership. He's going to be a role model, and he's going to help lift up the future generations of children, right? That are going to come up and then one day hopefully run for my seat. This young lady right here, I hope will run for my seat one day, right? Yeah, so to all of you, I just, and I will ask a question that might be a little bit difficult for Azam to ask. I ask all of you, if you've given $100, please consider giving $200. If you've given $500, please give $1,000. We have 30 days until election, is that right? And we need all the money that we can get. So please look into your hearts and see how much this race means to you, means to your community. And before you leave, please leave your wallet with the people at the top. Thank
you. You made the fundraiser's job a lot easier. Our next elected official that we're proud to have is DuPage County Board Member Don Desart. Please welcome Don.
Thank you so much. You know, most people find themselves at the polls on election day without a clue who to vote for the judicial post, am I right? Our judicial system, though, is arguably the most important branch of our government. Azam is an attorney running for circuit court judge in DuPage County. We need Azam. The DuPage County Bar Association highly recommends Azam for circuit court judge in the upcoming election, and so do I. A key quality in a judge is community involvement, and voters in DuPage County can be assured that not only does Azam have outstanding credentials, he's also active in his community and freely shares his legal expertise with not-for-profit organizations as well as other pro bono work. Azam had an attitude to make an excellent addition to the bench in DuPage County. Now those are my prepared remarks. I believe them deeply. Azam is the best choice for the job. But lean in, I've got a story for you. So I'm on the leadership team of this nonprofit organization, and we needed a lawyer to look over a contract. It's a nonprofit, so we don't have any money. So I found myself at a forum where candidates were speaking, and the leader of this nonprofit on which I serve went up to Azam's primary opponent and said, "Would you mind looking over this contract for our group? We don't have a lot of money to pay you, but could you look over?" And the primary opponent said, "Azam is a man with integrity. He's a wonderful man. You're going to like him. He's got ethics, and he'll be happy to look over your contract. Azam, come on over." And so Azam came over, met my group, and agreed to look over the contract. I called Azam to get his notes on the contract, and I said, "How much?" He said, "Nothing." I said, "Oh my gosh, we can pay you something." He said, No, just let me know what you want me to do with the contract." Well, you know what? I'm busy. Things are busy, life is busy. So I didn't reach back out to Azam. You know what he did? He called me. He reached back out to me and said, "How can I help your organization?" He's a husband, a father, a lawyer, he's got a full-time job, he's running for office, and he made the time to call me back. And he said, "Dawn, what can I do for you?" You know what you can do, Azam? You can get on this bench, because we need you as a judge in DuPage County. Azam for judge.
Thank you, Don. Our next elected official is Judge Lafshi, Alderman for the Aurora City.
Well, I was not prepared to speak, but I will start with something funny. When I can't get through to somebody, I'm a practicing lawyer. When I can't get through to somebody, another lawyer, to return my call, or anybody, I'll say, "This is Judge Lafshi calling." And boy, in 2 seconds they return my call, and they get on the phone. "Let me get him for you. He's in the lunchroom, I'll get him for you." But I will echo what my other colleagues, Karina and Dawn, said about Azam. I am a practicing attorney, and I had a real estate closing with Azam, and I think another has the temperament to be a judge, and I think Jeff Jacobson does too, as far as I know. The previous judge was a little rough. He would yell at lawyers. I never felt I was getting a fair shake, because if, God forbid, even late, he would almost always be, mean-spirited and whatever, and then you felt, wow, I'm going to lose because he came in late. I've talked to Azam about his temperament, and I think he has a temperament, and I think that's really important for a judge, because even if he's going to rule against you, you need to at least feel like he's listening, and I think he does listen, and I think that's important. But besides the obvious, what Karina and Dawn said about giving money to Azam, it's important for this community to let everyone else know to vote for him. And I personally have asked people before I came, like leaders in your community, Siley Joshi, Roger Chal, Afsel Lakwanda, Ashok, who I did get 5 emails from. That he is a good man, and he does have the temperament, and we need to diversify. When I grew up, DuPage County I grew up in Elmhurst and Oak Brook. It was all white Republicans, everyone pulled the lever, all Republicans. Well, thank goodness it's more diverse. And I think having a judge, I know there's one in Kane County, an Indian judge, but to have someone like Azam to diversify, it really is going to be great. And the fact that you're all here supporting him is great, but make sure you tell your friends to vote for him, because if you don't vote, in these elections sometimes the turnout's 10 or 15%. So you've got to vote, you've got to get your kids who are 18 registered to vote, the high school kids, the college kids, so please vote. So good luck, Azam, and we really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you, Judd. Well, as you know, for anybody running office behind them, so Azam is fortunate to have a great team to help them succeed. And I'd like to invite dear Joanne Tyree to come and speak a few words.
Thank you. It feels like days ago, but I think I was 6 or 7 months ago, whether I would help with his campaign. I told him, I'm retired, and one of the great advantages is that I can pick and choose every day where I spend my time and energy and who I give my time and energy to. And then, because I believe so strongly in Azam and the need for Azam to be on the bench, I work for him. At the time, it was supposed to be a couple hours a day. That part hasn't worked out exactly like that. It's been a few more than that. When I meet people and I talk about Azam, I tell them, the first thing I always say to them is, Azam Nizamuddin is literally one of the most decent human beings that I have ever met in my life, and I want a man like Azam on the bench. So, of course, personally, I strongly support and endorse Azam, and I work to get the vote out for him. I talk for a minute about the current situation in the local elections here in DuPage. So I'm a strong Democrat. I don't know what all of you are, and it really doesn't matter. But I will tell you that we are very fortunate to have over 40 strong Democrats running for office in DuPage County this year, and that's historic. Yeah, that's amazing. And some of them are sitting right over here. They're good friends of our campaign, and you will get to hear from them a little bit. It's really historic times for our country, and it's historic times for our county. I heard someone say at an event I was at recently, well, why should it matter whether you vote, whether you have Democrats in office, in local office, or Republicans? And they said, and I wish I could remember who said it so I could give them credit, they said, it matters because Democrats share my core values, share the things that I hold dear, and believe in the big tent, and will work for all of the diverse members of the community, and I absolutely believe that. So I believe as well, based on a lot of data that we've looked at in the campaign, that this community, the South Asian community's vote, could be the difference, could be the swing in many of these small local elections. That's a powerful position for all of you and your friends and neighbors and coworkers to be in. Many local races are actually decided by a few hundred votes. There'll probably be 140, 180, 190, 200,000 votes cast in DuPage County for some of these local races, and they could swing on a few hundred. Please take a sign. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell everyone that you can to get out and vote. Remember that many of the important local races that affect our everyday lives are on the back of the ballot. So don't stop on the front page, go all the way down to the back of the ballot, and please vote Azam Nizamuddin for Circuit Court Judge.
They said, all of this, none of this matters if we don't go out and vote. So if you live in the DuPage County, please do, and please encourage all your friends from DuPage County to go and vote. We've all heard about Azam, and it's time now to hear from Azam. So here's the official bio introduction. Azam has been an attorney for over 20 years and had worked for small firms, large firms, and as a solo practitioner. He has conducted both bench and jury trials and has practiced in many areas of corporate, civil, and criminal law. He has helped many work, as you just heard, for those who could not afford an attorney. Azam has been very active with the DuPage County Bar Association, serving as the chair of the civil law section and previously serving as the editor of the County Bar Association Law Journal. He's also an educator and has taught continuing legal education classes to lawyers and judges. Azam has taught as an adjunct professor at Loyola University. He has also participated and made presentations to many interfaith and peace groups in synagogues, churches, civic organizations, and federal agencies across the country and in international conferences. For this particular election, I'm pleased to announce that he candidate to be highly recommended by the DuPage County Bar Association. And he is also recommended by the Illinois State Bar Association Judiciary Poll. Without further ado, please help me welcome the next Circuit County Judge of DuPage County, Azam.
Good morning and salams, namaste, everybody. I'm really overwhelmed by not only the turnout, the support, but also the wonderful statements by my colleagues, elected officials. I really don't know what to say, and it's ironic because many, as you guys know, our candidates, every few days we're speaking at different venues for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and so forth. And I say to a lot of the different venues that we attend. So thank you so much. First and foremost, obviously I want to thank, in particular, Asma, my wife, who's really been a stalwart supporter and really sacrificed a lot for me. And she really has really stepped up and helped out. At the same time, she works. She works for a union as well, and the kids have also been busy. They got college, they've got high school, and they're also helping make put signs together and so forth. So the family support has been really overwhelming, and without them, I really could not have done, at least even get this far without them. So thanks. Secondly, of course, I want to thank Joanne Tyree, who has been really amazing. I mean, she really is, because not only is she helping out our campaign, she also finance committee. And I can't remember if it's the chair of the finance committee or you're still on the board or wherever you join, because you do so many different things. But she really helps out the DuPage Dems party. She's helping out with a gala that's coming up. So she's doing that. She's got her own family and so forth. And she's got this crazy little dog too, by the way. Just the work that she's done has been truly amazing. But I really brought her on because we had a chance to work on DuPage Dems amended the bylaws earlier this year, and she was spearhead that committee along with Nate Sipple, who's also here, who's the executive director. By the way, let's recognize Nate. He's the executive director of DuPage Dems. And when I saw the professionalism that she demonstrated, particularly with the few first meetings that were very tense, there was a lot of disputes early on from different people, and she handled it really well. And I said, I want someone like that on my campaign. I want someone who's professional, honest, decent, working hard, who believes in our mission. So thank you, Joanne, for all that you've done so far. I don't know how I can ever repay what you've done. Maybe this is not the best designation, but he's like the Energizer Bunny, which is Ashfaq Sayed for putting this whole thing together. He really has gone out of his way to help out our campaign, and I couldn't thank him enough for all that he's done. His family as well. I know his wife is a big support of him and all his activities, so thank you. And of course, the daughter who came out, Julia, who said some nice words earlier today, so thank you so much for all that. And then to the rest of you, thank you all for coming. My family, my sister, my brother-in-law, they've been really helping. Know them. They're not in DuPage, but that's okay, we'll forgive them, they're in Morton Grove. But so many of you, I can name every single person here who's helped out and stepped up. My in-laws are here, And fortunately, we have great relations, so they even agreed to put up a sign at their house, so that's wonderful. 2 signs, in fact, because they have a very strategically placed house that's on a corner lot, so it's really good. I should have thought about that more when I was, looking to figure out who my future relations are going to be. I'm being silly, but honestly, I really don't have anything inspirational to say, you guys. I'm just so overwhelmed with emotions and support, and you've heard all my background. Except for, I really believe that it's our time in 2020. I believe it's our time, our community's time, and we can no longer sit back. And I've said this to several community members, which is, look, everybody has their views about politics. Every time you come to a social event, a dinner, a wedding, anytime you get community members, we all have politics, right? It's usually politics or money, real estate, whatever. We talk about who the best presidential candidates are. We talk about, if Bernie's gonna win or is Elizabeth Warren gonna win. We talk about Trump. And then we stop. And then we just kind of, what difference will it make? Look how terrible the Senate is, or look at the Supreme Court, it's all political. What difference can I make? I can tell you that if you want to see someone like me on the bench and other 2 elected officials, you can make a difference. Okay? Maybe in Illinois we can't make a huge difference when it comes to the presidential races or even the Senate races because we're predominantly Democrat. But if you want to see people like me in higher office, you will and can make a difference. And that's really important for you to understand that. It's really, like as Joanne said, this election, despite the fact that we think we have the best campaign, the best candidate, this election can come down to just a few hundred votes. So that's why it's so important for you to take yard signs, talk to your friends, and just get the word out. I think we have a very strong and strategic message, campaign strategy. Where's Angelo? Is he out there?
Right here.
Oh, that's Angelo's my field director, and he'll talk to you later. But he's doing a wonderful job, and we're so happy to have him on board. Let's give him a big applause as well. We're very confident, but we need everyone to come out and vote. So that's really all I can say. Really, I don't want to take any more of your time because I know there's a lot of other speakers, but I want to thank everyone for coming, all my candidate friends who are here and supporting everybody else, and I look forward to seeing you all on the campaign trail. Thank you so much. So I guess the next part of the program is that we're going to be introducing our other candidates that are here. So we have a list. If you are not on the list, let us know. We'll call you. So next up, also, I have some excellent colleagues who are also running for circuit court judge in other seats. In other words, they're not running against me. So what's called, I should just say really quickly, when you go and vote, you can. There's early voting has already started. You can also vote by mail. But you have to ask for a Democratic ballot. So in the past, if you voted Republican, and you still are, in order to vote for us and our colleagues, you have to vote on the Democratic ticket. So, and it's designated by the different seats. So mine is called the Patrick O'Shea seat. And then next we have the Bob Anderson seat. And for that is our friend Jeff Jacobson who's running. So Jeff, come on up.
It's very, very important, and I'm sometimes used to show how important it is to vote. So in DuPage, there was about the people that voted for judge last cycle. I lost by 388 votes. I calculated that's about 45 homes. So if everyone here goes to DuPage and make a phone call to one of your friends in DuPage and say, please vote. It's really not that hard. How long does it take? 5 minutes to fill out a few circles, and you make a difference in the life. And also, we know now, more than ever, how important judges are. As I usually talk about it, Roe versus Wade was decided by judges. The ban, judges got involved and then stopped. There's a lot of judges that are stopping what Trump is doing illegally. So by you filling out a few circles, punching a few dots, you're going to make the difference in everyone's life in DuPage. So please, for Azam, for me, for all the other candidates, if you can just talk to someone in DuPage, just double it. I need 388 more people voting. That's the difference. So I'm Jeff Jacobs, I'm running for judge. Thanks.
Next we have another good candidate who's running for what's called the Ronald Suter seat, Jill Oddie. Jill also has a primary opponent, so it's really important for us to support her and make sure that
Thank you, Azam. As Azam said, my name is Jill Oddie, and I do thank Azam and his family for inviting me to this today. As you've heard, 4 different judicial races in this next election, and it's important that you flip the page and vote for the back of the ballot. Azam's race is right above mine, and I think Jeff is the last person you're going to vote for. So, something that was told to me recently that I think is important is, not only that, but before you even go out, I think it was my friend Joe that said, or maybe somebody close to him, call 10 of your friends. Make sure that they're going to go out and vote too. If they need a ride, call me. I'll drive anybody anywhere, because I will be. So I'll take you to the polls. So please vote for Azam, vote for Jill, vote for Jeff. Thank you.
And the last seat that we have is called the DeCala seat. And for that, we have Peggy O'Connell who's running, but she couldn't make it today. She had something come up. So next up is our good friend Bill White, who's running for DuPage County Auditor. Come on up, Bill.
Hello, I'm Bill White, I'm running for auditor. I'll take a moment to tell you why I believe Azam should become a circuit judge. Why? Intelligent. 2, he's scholarly. He cares about study, he cares about reading and research. 3, he cares justice, about doing the right thing. And 4, he's compassionate. And when you blend those 4 traits, that is the idea of being a judge. And I will repeat what everybody said, as you heard about Judge Jacobson lost by a tiny sliver of votes. What Jill said is true. Tell 10 friends to vote. And it wasn't Jill said first, but tell 10 friends to vote. Now, very briefly about me, I'm running for the office of County Auditor. I chose to run this at a very interesting time in DuPage County, because a county that was 100% Republican, not 100%, close to Republican when I first moved here, is going to change this cycle. There's an excellent chance we'll have a majority in the county board, but it'll be a slim majority. It won't be a strong, dynamic majority. And given my past experience, I believe I can help facilitate all the units of government so we can actually govern well. The role of the auditor, in my opinion, is to make sure that the county delivers efficient government, transparent government, value for our tax dollars back to the community. Republicans just want to cut taxes. They know the price of everything and the value of nothing. I believe that taxes are appropriate if spent wisely and if used to return that. And as auditor, my job is to make sure everyone else is doing exactly that. So make sure you vote for Azam, please vote for me, please vote for other candidates, and tell all your friends to vote. Thank you.
Candidate for DuPage County Clerk, Candace Adams. Come on up, Candace.
Azam's right that normally when we do speaking events, we only have 1 to 2 minutes, so I'm looking for the person that's doing my time. A little bit about me, I'm a practicing attorney at the court in DuPage County, and that's the position that houses all the court records. It also houses a lot of court resources. And I'm running for this position primarily because I think a lot of our court resources are not given the same access equally and fairly to all members of our community, and I want to do a better job with that. But specifically about Azam. So this is my first time running. A previous life was a sexual assault advocate. And I have watched Azam navigate in this primary season situations that are difficult. And as being a sexual assault advocate, I often had to go before judges and take victims of sexual assault in front of judges. And I know that in this position, and running for this position, there's nobody better temperament as a judge to be able to listen fairly and make a courtroom comfortable for all of the people that come before him. So Azam has my vote. He had it very early on, but he is the best person for this job. And I thank you all for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, Azam, for inviting me here. Today, it's all about Azam. Okay, so even though I'm not in his district, I know a lot of people there, and I've always supported him because he's smart. But above everything, he is a wonderful human being. So all of you tell 100 other people to go vote for him. That's what matters most, is the votes. My ray of hope, and I'm the present commissioner for Streetwood Park District. I've been elected about 3 years ago, and I believe that every human being needs respect and has value. But 3 years ago, people in power told me the elections because I'm a woman of color and I won't get the votes. To them, I say this prejudiced way of thinking has to stop. Because what they really dare you have the audacity to dream big. So I will be working to help every marginalized person in my community to dream big. I'm running for State Senate, District 22, and I know this is not my district, but tell everyone you know in Streamwood, Elgin, Hanover Park, Schaumburg to vote for me and to support me. What surprises me is that 53% of the registered voters in my district did not go out to vote in the last primary. So like Karina said, we work hard, we knock on thousands of doors, and let the voters decide. Because everywhere that I've gone, people are worried about the $137 billion deficit in pension fund. Voters want answers. So this is our time. Every vote counts, and your vote matters. I don't know how else to motivate people to go out and vote, because they don't realize that elected officials have the ability to decide the kind of education your children receive. They have the ability to decide how much you pay for health care. So you must vote. Voting is not just for the rich and the powerful. This is your time to stand up against the powerful people and say the middle class matters, working class matters. So please go out and vote for Azam Nizamuddin and vote for me and the other candidates on March 17th. Don't wait for March 17th. Go out now. Early voting is starting March 3rd. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
To express their remarks. So the first person I would like to invite is Bernadette Chopra.
I'm just going to stand here and say a few words. No prepared speech, but I just want to repeat what everybody said. This is an important time in this country. We see a judicial system.
So I don't want to get in between you and lunch. I am the real estate guy, and frankly speaking, I never had an opportunity to interact with Nizamuddin. I see his post on social media, so that's the only way to know him. But I got a call from Ashfaq Sayed probably 3-4 weeks ago, and he asked me to co-host this event. And I told him Azam, and I don't know what he stands for, what are his views, and he said, Moin bhai, trust me, he's the right candidate for this position. I say, I trust you. So I voted Azam, but after listening and hearing to all the candidates over here, I think I made the right decision, and that's the good endorsement. So please, make sure that everybody, all of you, whether you live in DuPage County or not, even myself, I don't live in DuPage County, but I have a lot of friends and clients and who live in DuPage County. So So I'm going to reach out to them and ask them to vote for Azam Nizamuddin or all the candidates who are here. So my vote for you and vote Azam Nizamuddin. Thank you.